Hello everybody and welcome to the blog. My name is Daniel, and in these last few weeks of June, GLAAD, Google, and YouTube have been launching a Proud to Love campaign, where the question has essentially been, who are you proud to love? Why are you proud to love them? So this is my contribution to the Proud to Love campaign. Before I answer the question, who I'm proud to love, I feel there needs to be a bit of a backstory, my coming out story. So I apologize to my friends on Facebook and everybody who already knows the story, especially because I tend to tell stories in the exact same fashion over and over again. But for those who don't know my story and are listening to this for the first time, thank you for taking the time to listen to it, and I hope that you get something out of it. I started having inclinations about my same-sex attraction starting in grammar school. I went to a Catholic grammar school that was right across the street from my apartment building. And I was a very good little Catholic. I went to church every single Sunday. I sang in the choir. I was an altar server. I did the best in religion class. I knew the Bible, all this other fun stuff. And when these feelings started coming up, 7th and 8th grade, I didn't know what they were. I didn't know what it meant. I was 11, 12. I mean, how could I have known what it meant at that time? But then I ended up going to high school at an all-boy Jesuit high school, downtown Jersey City. That's when I realized, that's what these feelings are. Oh, okay, great. Finding out what the word gay meant, and finding out what homosexuality entailed, I'm still learning about to this day, but back at the beginning of high school, it was a very confusing time. My freshman year, I was talking to a friend on AIM. Remember AIM? It was this big melodramatic thing in my head. So I turned it into a big melodramatic thing when I was coming out to this friend on AIM. I ended up just saying something very something dire along the lines of, I really need to tell you something. And he was like, okay, what? What's going on? And I just came out with it. I was like, I'm gay. And he was like, tell me something I didn't already know. And I'm like, oh, okay. But as funny as that story was, for the next few years, it was a period of very intense self-loathing. Again, I'd grown up very Roman Catholic, and after reading up on the church's positions on homosexuality, I was convinced that I was an aberration, that I was unnatural, that I was filthy, that my parents wouldn't love me, my sister wouldn't love me, my family would disown me, that my friends would hate me, and God would not love me, most of all. And it was a very difficult time, especially in such a Catholic environment at home and at school. There were also some friends throughout my high school experience that I had come out to at one time or another that dismissed it, dismissed me and my feelings, and essentially just boil it down to, oh, you haven't met the right girl yet, or oh, you haven't, maybe you're bi. How do you really know if you've never been with a girl? And that planted the seed of doubt in my head. How did I know? What was it that was convincing me so strongly that I was gay? This period of self-loathing and self-doubt lasted all the way into my senior year of high school, when there was this girl who I had been friends with for quite a while, and we had grown quite close, actually. We had been sharing a lot of ourselves with each other. I'd also shared about my feelings about myself being gay and things like that too. And she knew all about it, but one thing led to another, and I convinced myself that maybe if I had a girlfriend, if I had somebody that proved that I was straight, that's all I would need. And I could overcome these gay feelings, and I would live a happy life forever after. So it was mid-February, and one thing led to another, and this girl and I decided to get into a relationship together. Online, obviously. I mean, that's how I do things. And that day was very happy. We chatted, we were texting, everything was great. The next morning I woke up to a text from her that said nothing but, good morning, smiley face. And I felt this intense wave of guilt wash over me. And in that very moment, I just knew, I can't deny it. I can't convince myself that I'm straight, because I'm not. And I ended up breaking up with her that day, and I felt really bad about it. I'm really sorry. Oh. My current friends refer to that day as the 24 hours where nothing in the world made sense because Daniel had a girlfriend. A month or so later, I was one of the retreat leaders for a retreat where essentially the idea is it's a weekend-long retreat. We go off-site, and it's a really great experience. But one of the hallmarks of the experience is this activity where we get to share bits about ourselves. As one of the retreat leaders, myself and one of my friends, one of the fellow retreat leaders, were asked by the retreat director to start off the sharing. And essentially the parameters were anything goes. Anything that is weighing on your heart, on your mind, you can share with the group so that you can get it out there and get support and get love and acceptance from your fellow retreatants, and build that support system. To this day, it's one of my favorite memories of all time, both of the sharings that I was a part of as a retreatant and then as a retreat leader. The experience as a retreat leader was all the more special to me, though, because of what happened. My fellow retreat leader went first, and he had this wonderful, wonderful talk about his family and how he was scared to go off to college and leaving them behind, and all the change that that his move would entail. And it's something that I know that myself and my other two retreat leaders really connected to as well, because we were all in the same boat. Then it came time for my turn, and I knew that I was going to do it. And I told a few friends that I was going to do it too, but there in the moment it was terrifying. But I just decided if my friend was this open about his own struggles, then I could be open about mine. So I just came out with it. I'm gay. And I talked about my fears about its impact on my family and on my role within the school, and about what would happen when I go off to college and what my friends would think. And it ended up being very, very cathartic. It was this massive weight that was lifted off my shoulders, because this is the first time that I had admitted it in such a relatively public fashion. And I felt so supported and so loved by everybody, the retreat director and the adults and the fellow retreat leaders and the retreatants. And it was just an amazing experience. All the more so because this was a religious retreat. All the more reason that I should have been scared that I shouldn't have done it, but I did not regret it one whit, because everybody was so wonderful and so accepting, and it was a major milestone on my path to becoming the person that I am today. So bolstered by this newfound confidence, I had decided to go to the College of the Holy Cross for my 4 years of college. But I was very, very scared about that choice. I had chosen it based on a scholarship package that I got to study the classics, which, as you know, is something that I'm studying to this day for my PhD. But in the lead up to my first year at Holy Cross, I'd come across a survey in the Princeton Review that had listed Holy Cross in the top 5 list of schools where, I think the exact title was, Alternative Lifestyles Are Not an Alternative. Essentially, that means that gay lifestyles were not acceptable on the Holy Cross campus, theoretically. So then I was weighing the options in my mind. Is it worth going to the school for 4 years where I might have to hide who I am, or I might have to be very on the down low and essentially not be who I am, in favor of the program? And essentially the program ended up winning out, because I love the people, I love the campus, I loved the feel of it when I came to come visit. So I decided to go to Holy Cross. But then I really thought about it, compared the options about living in the closet or living completely out, especially after I had had such a good experience coming out on this retreat. And I thought, you know what, to hell with it. I'm not going to be living in the closet anymore. I'm done with that. I'm going to be out from the moment that I set foot on Mount St. James, which is where Holy Cross is. And when I got there, lo and behold, I was out from the very first moment, and it was amazing. It was great. I was so accepted. I was so loved. There were so many people that it was not even an issue for. Not only was it not an issue, they celebrated it and thought it was really, really great. And it was the first time that I had this experience of being in a community where it was just nothing but constant acceptance and love and wonder, and it was just great. I loved it. I think my class at Holy Cross ended up almost doubling the existing out gay population at Holy Cross. We were visible in the student groups and in all walks of life. There are a lot of us in the theater program. Surprise. That was my double major at Holy Cross, Classics and Theater. It was just a wonderful, wonderful community of people. And this is something that I had never experienced before. In high school, it was an all-boy Jesuit high school, but it was still a high school. There were maybe 2 or 3 other guys who were out in addition to me towards the end of my senior year. And as a result, I didn't really know how to comport myself in a social group that consisted of gay people. When I went to Holy Cross, that completely changed. I was surrounded by gay people all the time. And I learned by example how to be a friend, how to exist as a strong gay man in the context of college, in the context of a friend group, in the context of a relationship. There are three people who I am very proud to love. Two of my best friends who came in with me at Holy Cross in my class, and one who came to Holy Cross the year after. There are so many lessons that I learned from each of the three of them that I cannot even begin to enumerate. How to share, how to be yourself, how to be proud of who you are, how to forgive, how to forget, how to be somebody's support system, how to be a shoulder to cry on, how to laugh. It's just, my life would be completely different if it weren't for the presence of these three people in my life to this day. And I'm overwhelmed with gratitude whenever I think about all the wonderful times that we had together. Even when I've made mistakes, they have been the bigger person to help me out and help me grow as a person into the adult that I am today. And I can never thank them enough. I really can't. I'm proud to love my best friends because they are the men that I want to grow up to be. They are the people that have shown me what it is like to be selfless, caring, giving, and wonderful people. My story is not over. There is so much that I have left to learn, that so many experiences that I want to experience that I haven't yet experienced. And there are a lot of areas that I need to work on. You'll notice that I very kind of conspicuously left out the family side of my story. That was on purpose. I feel it's a bit of a personal thing for me and for my best friends, but suffice it to say that there are some members of my family that know and are great with it. There are some members of my family that know and are not so great with it. And there are some members of my family that do not know for fear of what will happen if they do know. But again, my story is just beginning. I'm 24 years old. There are so many things that I have yet to learn, so many experiences that I have yet to experience, and the story only continues from here. Again, I'm proud to love my friends. Thank you to Google and to YouTube and to GLAAD for this wonderful initiative. Make sure to look for the hashtag #ProudToLove on Twitter and on YouTube to watch some wonderful, wonderful other stories as well. I am coming up with this video as a video response to a few YouTubers, to Bushu37s, to Dude and Ease on Up, and Mikey the Platypus, because their stories really inspired me to share my own story. I'll make sure to put annotations to their videos right here below. As always, thank you for watching my videos, and especially thank you for watching this one, which is so personal. I am still sweating and I'm still trembling and nervous because I'm not closeted in my everyday life, but putting this down on camera for YouTube is kind of a big deal for me. Again, thank you. Make sure to look out for other Proud to Love videos, and happy Pride.